Sergeant Jackie Noonan was squaring away paperwork when the call came in. Just her and the Gosling, Proncia Swift, in Ballina Garda Station. The third officer on duty, Sergeant Dennis Crean, had run out to oversee the extraction of a Reynolds McGann, some young lad, sober, apparently, just a nervous non-local negotiating the cat's cradle of back roads around Currabaggin, had nosed into a ditch a half-mile out from the National School. The car was a write-off, but the lad had got away without a scratch, according to Crean, and he was a lucky lad because Noonan knew the roads out that way, and they were wicked, high-ditched, hilly, and altogether too narrow, scantily signposted and laced with half-hidden, acutely right-angled turns it took only a second's inattention to be ambushed by. Noonan was at her desk drinking coffee black as a vinyl record from a battered silver cafetiere, and transferring a weekend's worth of write-ups from her notebook into the central computer system. The weekend had been unremarkable but busy. There had been a dozen or so minor traffic infractions, a fistfight between stocious teenage cousins outside a Main Street chipper late last night, and a call-out this morning prompted by what turned out to be a man's empty duffel coat snagged in the weir gates of the Moy River, which was enthusiastically mistaken for a body by a band of visiting American summer students and the professor taking an early constitutional along the quays. The notes, executed in Noonan's irredeemable Kitog scrawl, were the usual hassle to decipher. The transcription to the computer an activity of an order of tedium Noonan nonetheless found strangely assuaging. So absorbed was she in this task that she started in surprise when the phone on the main desk first rang out. "Proncius," she commanded, without looking away from the screen. The phone continued ringing. "Proncius!" Noonan glanced up. Proncius wasn't at his desk. He wasn't in the room. Noonan made her way over to the main desk. She snatched the handset from its cradle. "Ballina Garda Station. Sergeant Noonan speaking." "There's been a shooting," a voice, a man's, declared. "A shooting?" Noonan repeated just as Proncius appeared with a mug in his hand. Proncius Swift was 24, out of Temple Moor less than 3 years, and an aura of adolescent gawkiness clung to him yet. He was tall but disposed to stooping, with an emphatic aquiline bump in his conch, jumpy eyes, and a guileless shine coming off his forehead. Even the chevrons of premature grey in his crew cut served only to emphasise his prevailing boyishness. When he heard Noonan say, "a shooting," he froze in place and stared at her with his mouth open. "When you say a shooting is in someone's been shot with a gun?" Noonan asked the man. "What other kind of shooting is there?" the man said. "Hang on now," Noonan said. Keeping the cordless handset to her ear, she returned to her own desk, sat back down, and retrieved her pen and notebook. "How many people have been shot?" she asked. "Just the one." "The person shot? A man or a woman?" "A man." "Is he dead?" The man on the end of the line sighed. "He's not. He's out there now in the back field. He's in a bit of a bad way." "How badly injured is he, in your estimation?" Noonan said, raising a finger to fix Proncius's attention, then pointing at the phone on his desk, meaning, "Call the emergency at Castlebar General." "He took a serious enough hit. But what it was a warning shot. I wanted on record I was in fear of my life and my son's life. I was not aiming at him at all. He broke onto my property. I was in fear of my life and was only trying to warn him off." The man was outside, on a mobile, his voice dipping in and out amid the ambient scratch and crumple of the elements. "I need your name," Noonan said, and when the man did not immediately answer, she added, "It's important you answer my questions now, please." Bertie Creedon," the man said. "Where's your property located, Mr. Creedon?"
"Rathridawn. I'm on the far side of Rathridawn."
"You're going to have to narrow that down for me." "Take the Bonnyconlon Road as far as Mills Turn. Do you know Mills Turn?" "I do," Noonan said, dashing down Mills Turn in her notebook. "Where am I heading from there?" "Take the third road on the left after Mills Turn. Keep along that road a mile and a half until you come to a farm with a yellow bungalow and a '92 Fiat motorhome up on bricks out the front.